Let's talk about caffeine. It's everywhere, right? In our coffee, tea, energy drinks, even chocolate. And we're constantly hearing how it's this dangerous, addictive drug that we should all be quitting. But what if a lot of that is just wrong? If you're someone who thinks caffeine is basically a bad habit we should all kick, well, get ready. We're about to take a look at what the science actually says, and it might just change your mind.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Is caffeine really the bad guy it's made out to be, or is there a whole other side to this story? It's time to bust some myths, and we're going to start with how it really works inside your head.
Okay, first things first. To really get caffeine, you have to know what it's doing in your brain. And you know what? The mechanism is surprisingly simple, but it is incredibly powerful. So, all day long, as you're working and thinking, your body produces this compound called adenosine. The best way to think of it is like your body's natural sleepiness signal. The more it builds up, the more it tells your brain, hey, it's time to power down. And here is where the magic happens. Caffeine molecules look a whole lot like adenosine, so they sneak in and park themselves in the adenosine receptors in your brain. But instead of turning on that sleepy signal, they just block it. The adenosine can't get in, so your brain never gets the message that it's tired. And suddenly, you feel alert, you feel motivated. Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. Caffeine isn't creating new energy out of thin air. It's just silencing the part of you that's saying you're tired. It's letting you borrow energy from tomorrow. And if you don't get enough sleep to clear out all that adenosine, you start the next day already in debt, needing even more caffeine just to feel normal. And that right there, that's how that cycle of dependence can really kick in. Okay, so now that we know the mechanism, let's get to the really wild part, because the science shows that caffeine is so much more than just a way to stay awake. Honestly, the evidence for its benefits is, well, it's pretty overwhelming. It's kind of the trump card in this whole debate. First up, let's talk about your brain. Study after study shows that regular, moderate caffeine intake can actually slow down the cognitive decline that happens as we get older. And in the short term, it makes you process information faster and it even boosts your memory. And just how powerful is that memory boost? Well, get this. In one study, they found that caffeine's effect on memory was pretty much on par with powerful and often banned pharmaceuticals like methylphenidate and modafinil. I mean, that's just incredible for something you can get from a simple cup of coffee. And this isn't just some lab result. When scientists tested pro esports players, we're talking people at the absolute peak of human performance. Caffeine made them 5% faster and 1% more accurate. Now, just imagine what that kind of edge could do for the rest of us. The benefits for your body are just as stunning. Huge studies called meta-analyses have linked regular caffeine consumption to a much lower risk of stroke, which is one of the biggest killers in the world. We're talking about a potential risk reduction of around 30%. That's massive. Oh, and trying to lose some weight? Yeah, caffeine can help with that too. Turns out it can speed up fat loss by 20 to 30%. So if your diet was going to help you lose, say, 3 kilograms in a month, adding caffeine could push that up to 4 kilograms. Same effort, better results. But this might be the most shocking part. Coffee seems to be a powerful shield against a bunch of different cancers. The data is just wild. Every single extra cup of coffee a day was linked to a 15% lower risk of liver cancer. And for gallbladder cancer, the risk reduction could be as high as 59%. Seriously, when you see numbers like these, it's really hard to keep calling caffeine a dangerous drug. So, with all these amazing benefits, it's tempting to think, great, I'll just drink more. But that's not how it works. The secret to getting all these superpowers is all about using it responsibly. So let's get real about the risks and how to find that perfect sweet spot. Let's be super clear here. Caffeine is not for everybody. If you already have high blood pressure or if you struggle with anxiety, high doses of caffeine can definitely make things worse. And doctors also strongly recommend cutting way back during pregnancy. So, what's a safe amount? Well, health authorities like the FDA have set the general safe limit for most adults at about 400 milligrams a day. But for pregnant women, that number is cut in half, down to 200 milligrams. And the whole addiction thing? Well, the research shows that real dependence tends to kick in with very specific patterns. We're talking either having more than 3 milligrams per kilogram of your body weight every single day for more than 2 weeks, or just consistently hitting those really high doses of 400 to 600 milligrams daily. Okay, so how do we take all this science and actually use it in our daily lives? Let's put together a super simple playbook for using caffeine smartly so you get all of the good stuff and none of the bad. It really comes down to 4 simple rules. 1. Know your dose. The sweet spot for those brain and body benefits is about 2 to 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. 2. You have to prioritize sleep. You gotta let your body recover. 3. Cycle your intake. Try to use it only 4 or 5 days a week so your body doesn't get too used to it. And 4. Be ready to manage any side effects.
And on that last point, if you're someone who gets anxious or jittery from caffeine, here's a pro tip. Try pairing it with L-theanine. It's an amino acid you find in green tea that kind of smooths out the edges. A 2-to-1 ratio of caffeine to L-theanine is a great starting point, but if you're really sensitive, a 1-to-1 ratio can give you this amazing, clean focus without any of the jitters.
So when you really step back and look at all the evidence, the lower risk of cancer and stroke, the better memory, the faster reaction time, the boost in physical performance, it kind of forces you to ask a totally new question. Instead of thinking of caffeine as a bad habit we need to quit, maybe, just maybe, we should start thinking of it as one of the most powerful and easy to get health supplements on the planet. What do you think?